Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is seeing a small short-term bounce as expected after we saw that small bullish divergence in the RSI and the bullish cross here in the MACD. In just a moment, I'll be updating you guys on some brand new areas of resistance that we need to be paying attention to for this bounce. And later in the video, I'll be going over my next Bitcoin price targets, my Bitcoin strategy, and also this very important moving average that I have not covered on the channel so far, because this exact moving average right here actually provided the market bottom back in July. So definitely make sure you're watching this video all the way to the end so that you're not missing out on all of this important information. And if that sounds good to you, just before we jump into it, make sure to drop a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this one. We're getting really close to 70,000 subscribers right now, and honestly, I can't thank you guys enough. Seriously, just from you spending a couple seconds out of your day to click that subscribe button down below, it honestly helps out the channel so much, and I really do appreciate it. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 4-hour time frame, and as you can see here, the Bitcoin price is still clearly holding above the 21-week moving average, and obviously a break below this moving average needs to be confirmed with a weekly candle below the moving average, and right now we have not seen that. We're actually holding above that level, and by the way, this level is coming in as around 42,000 US dollars. And for the brand new viewers on the channel, this is an incredibly important moving average that I am paying attention to right now. But I'm not going to go further into the 21-week simple moving average in this video, simply because I've covered it a lot on the channel in my last few Bitcoin update videos. So for the brand new viewers on the channel that missed my last couple Bitcoin videos, after you finish watching this video, definitely go back on my channel and check one of my last Bitcoin update videos, because once again, in those videos, I went into a little bit more detail about this exact 21-week simple moving average, and I explained exactly what it means for the Bitcoin price. And speaking of moving averages here on the weekly Bitcoin chart, this red line just here is the 55-week simple moving average. And why did I choose 55? Well, 55 is actually a number within the Fibonacci sequence, and the Bitcoin price, believe it or not, strongly respects Fibonacci levels. So zooming all the way out here on the weekly Bitcoin chart, this is Bitcoin's entire price history, and this moving average in particular is amazing to distinguish between bullish times and bearish times. In fact, the majority of the time that the price is above this 55-week moving average, we're usually in a bull market, but if we break below the moving average, we're usually in a bear market. Taking a look at the first Bitcoin halving cycle just here, of course, the 2013 bull market, Bitcoin held above the 55-week simple moving average throughout that entire bull market, and then we hit the all-time high at that stage for Bitcoin. And what happened next? Well, we actually saw quite a large correction straight into the exact 55-week moving average and saw a perfect bounce along that moving average. And then we entered one more bullish move to the upside, a bit of a relief rally, if you want to call it that, before eventually breaking this 55-week simple moving average and, of course, breaking into a new lower low. And that was basically when the bear market was properly confirmed. And then as soon as we broke below the moving average, we stayed below it for quite some time throughout the rest of that bear market. And then when the Bitcoin price broke back above this moving average towards the end of 2015, that was when the next Bitcoin bull cycle was getting ready to commence. And then, of course, we stayed above it throughout that entire bull market of 2016 and 2017. And then, of course, we topped out towards the end of 2017 at around 20,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. And then we had quite a large pullback into the exact 55-week simple moving average and saw a strong bounce at that level, as you can see, with a little bit of a relief rally here. And keep in mind, this is on the weekly chart. So for the beginners out there, each one of these candles is an entire week. So as you can see here, we saw 5 weekly candles. So over a month of bullish price action after we bounced along the 55-week moving average, but we actually later then came back below the moving average and flipped it into resistance. And that was when the bear market was properly confirmed. And obviously at that stage, we were already pretty much halfway through the bear market. Probably the earliest sign of a bear market is simply seeing huge lower highs form on the weekly time frame, because obviously paying attention to the bull markets just here, we do not see lower highs on the weekly time frame in the middle of a bull market. The only times where Bitcoin is putting in lower highs on the weekly time frame is usually in a bear market. And now taking a quick look at the 2019 bull run just here, this wasn't exactly an entire bull market, but it was obviously a decent bull run to the upside. And of course, we broke above this moving average, and that signaled a lot of bullish price action ahead. And then we reached a top here at around 14,000 US dollars per Bitcoin and had quite a decent pullback straight into the exact 55-week simple moving average. And then we saw a perfect bounce to the upside that lasted for around 5 weeks before we saw continued bearish price action. And then of course, the moment we broke back below this moving average, that's how you know a lot of bearish price action was still to come. And then we broke back above this moving average during the end of April, beginning of May 2020, and flipped it into support. And that was incredibly bullish for Bitcoin. And of course, throughout this entire bull market so far, we have remained above this exact moving average. And in fact, we've seen a perfect bounce along the exact 55-week moving average back when Bitcoin was bottoming out at around 30,000 US dollars back in July. So alongside that 21-week moving average, the 55-week moving average is one of the last hopes for the Bitcoin bulls out there. Because if the price sees a strong break below this moving average in particular, then that basically signals that we are in a bear market according to Bitcoin's entire history. Now, obviously, we have not seen Bitcoin do that just yet. We have put in a weekly lower high on the chart, which obviously is not a good sign. But until we see some further confirmation here, we can't necessarily absolutely confirm a bear market. For example, this 55-week moving average right now is coming in at around 36,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. Obviously, it is increasing to the upside. So by the time we might come down to meet that level, it could be coming in at more like 37 to 38,000 US dollars. And once again, according to Bitcoin's entire price history, a break below this moving average will signal a bear market. But at that stage, we're probably already around halfway through the bear market, if we confirm a bear market, that is. So if Bitcoin is going to remain bullish on the bigger picture here, we really need to hold above this moving average, obviously. And two important things to remember: a break below this moving average is not confirmed unless we see a weekly candle close well below the moving average. And also, if we could see some sort of retest underneath this moving average just here to confirm it as resistance, that can act as strong confirmation of the break to the downside. But of course, we don't necessarily need the retest. Just a weekly candle close is usually enough to confirm a break. And the second really important thing to remember about all of this is if the Bitcoin price breaks below the 55-week moving average and we enter a little bit more of a bearish time in the market, if you simply take a quick look at Bitcoin's entire price history, accumulating Bitcoin while the price is below this moving average have been some of the best buying opportunities that you could possibly ask for. And obviously, none of this is just my opinion. This is looking at the actual data in front of us. So if anything, you should be hoping that we break below this moving average, because once again, that gives you a buying opportunity that only comes around every few years. For example, the first time that we were underneath this moving average was all the way back here in around 2011 leading into 2012. The next time after that one was at around the end of 2014 leading into the beginning of 2015. And the next time after that was in around the end of 2018. And the following time after that one was in the beginning of 2020. So usually we only see this opportunity once every 4 years, with the exception of this capitulation just here back in March 2020. In that case, that made this a buying opportunity that you only see once every 2 years. So this is seriously how important it is to stay active in these markets, especially if we break below, because you don't get buying opportunities like this very often. But with all of that being said, obviously none of that further bearish price action is confirmed while we are above this moving average. I want to make that clear as well. It's just important to come up with a plan of action and develop your strategy ahead of time so that if certain things actually play out on the charts, you already know what you want to do. And now checking out the daily Bitcoin chart, as you can see just here, this was a potential falling wedge pattern that I drew quite a while ago now on the channel, because obviously I was connecting this low just here with all of these lows just here. But with the recent low here on the Bitcoin chart, that's basically invalidated this potential falling wedge pattern. Obviously, the line of resistance has remained untouched, but if we're adjusting this line of support to actually fit in that new low, what we can see here is now 3 touch points along this line of support. So this pattern clearly shows that the Bitcoin price is in a daily downtrend right now. We're seeing lower highs and lower lows on the daily time frame. So while the Bitcoin price is remaining inside this descending parallel channel, it'll simply be logical to assume that we could see some lower price targets come into play for Bitcoin to start flipping really bullish again on the daily time frame. First of all, the price needs to break above this resistance line just here. And right now, that's coming in at around 46,500 US dollars. And that is not all. We've actually got a lot of resistance above the Bitcoin price right now. For example, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from the high at around 53,000 US dollars down to the recent low at around 39,500 US dollars. As you can see here, we've got the golden pocket coming in for Bitcoin all the way up at around $48,000 US, pretty much exactly where we found huge resistance previously for the Bitcoin price. So once again, even if we do break this downwards trending resistance line, we still need to be paying attention to that $48,000 level as huge resistance. And above that level just there, we've still got a decent amount of resistance levels left above the Bitcoin price, but obviously I'm not going to go further into those levels while the price is still within this descending channel. So how could you use this pattern to actually make you some money in Bitcoin? Well, for those of you that are trading Bitcoin, right now it's clearly more profitable to look for short positions than it is to look for long positions. Obviously, you can make money from long positions because we have seen a few bounces to the upside within this channel. But recently, if you simply take a look, the bearish price action is larger than the bullish price action. And that becomes very obvious when you're looking at a bearish trend that we're currently in on the daily time frame. So for example, if we're getting up towards this line of resistance, then accumulating a short position might not be a bad idea. Obviously, make sure you're doing your own research as well. That is important. And I'll also give you guys some trade signals if I'm confident on a trade. And if you want those extra trade signals in real time, definitely make sure you're following me over on my Twitter. The link to my Twitter is in the description down below. And by the way, there's some scammers over on Twitter trying to copy my Twitter profile. So my only real Twitter profile is this one just here with around 28,000 followers. And it's the only one that's linked in the description down below. Any other Twitter profile that looks like mine that is not this one just here, those are scam profiles. So please be careful. And of course, if you're wanting to trade Bitcoin, definitely make sure you're checking out the links in the description. Out of the first few links in the description, you'll find some platforms that I use to trade, and you'll also find a full trading tutorial video that shows you exactly how I open and close my trades. And for the beginners out there, simply dollar cost averaging and holding for the long term is one of the best strategies, especially while the market is right now sitting in fear. Yesterday, we actually plunged into extreme fear for the first time in around 2 months, but right now the market has bounced back up into the fear zone, which obviously is a little bit better than extreme fear. But considering the fact that we're right now not in extreme fear anymore, we've still got a little bit more room to the downside. And here on the Bitcoin US dollar chart on the 2-hour time frame, obviously I'll let you guys know about this bullish divergence that was forming, and that we're very likely that we're going to see reduced selling pressure with perhaps some sideways consolidation, maybe a slight move to the upside. And once again, that's exactly what we've seen here as expected. But right now, this bullish divergence is starting to wear off, and also we're getting ready for a potential bearish cross here on the 2-hour Bitcoin chart. But on the 2-hour time frame, this is not extremely significant. It just means that the bullish divergence once again is wearing off, and we could be due for a little bit more bearish price action just in the immediate short term. And if you got something valuable out of this video, or simply enjoyed the video altogether, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. Obviously, it costs you nothing to subscribe to this channel, and it only takes a couple seconds out of your day. And in return, you're going to be getting all of this valuable information every single day. So I don't see why not. And also, I want to mention that I really do appreciate every single one of you that have been sharing these videos around with your friends, because seriously, this is one of the best times to share these videos around with your friends, considering the fact that right now we are entering into an amazing opportunity. And if Bitcoin doesn't end up hitting 100K this year, something's got to hit 100K this year. So it might as well be the Crypto World channel. So let's see if we can all work together in this amazing community to push this channel towards 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Honestly, if we could do that, that would be absolutely crazy. But anyway, that's just about everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.